What is going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. A slightly different approach with the video today, but I just wanted to break down my top 5 essentials for any running beginners out there. These are essentially things that I use personally that I would recommend and advise based off experience, and of course highlighting some of my mistakes that I have made in the past as well. So this is a no BS, no fluff essential guide for you today. So without further ado, let's get into number 1. Getting the right shoes is probably the most important part for anybody that is starting out their running journey. And it's not just as simple, I believe, as seeing something you like on social media or seeing a pair that you like online and just purchasing that particular shoe. I've been through a whole catalogue of different running shoes, and unfortunately I've wasted a lot of money as well. But the first piece of advice that I can give you when it comes to choosing your running shoe is to do so under professional guidance. So what I mean by that is actually going to a running store and doing gait analysis. Essentially what that means is the people at the store will essentially film you running on a treadmill, as you can see on screen right now. And what this will enable them to understand is your movement patterns, your running mechanics, how your foot strikes the floor, and of course the movement of your foot and ankle and everything supporting around your foot joint as each repetition, as each step is made on that treadmill. And then what they'll be able to do from there and from that data is advise you on the correct kind of running shoe for your style. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I had made. I should have done this from the very start. And then that led me to be able to then understand the running shoe that was right for me. The second piece of advice that I can give to you is once you find that perfect shoe that suits your style, your movement pattern is comfortable and doesn't give you many issues, then stick with it. As you can see right here, I have exactly the same shoe, just in 2 different colors. I actually have 3 pairs of these Asics Nova Blast 4s in different colors, just because this shoe works for me. So that's what I would say about running shoes, is make sure you get ones that fit your feet. Don't follow the hype and trends on social media, because ultimately you'll waste a lot of money and you'll waste a lot of time. So tip number 2, once you've got the shoe, you need something to go in it. And I'm talking about socks. And having the right socks can actually be a game changer for comfort and preventing blisters. I personally use a brand right here called Twinskin. This provides an extra layer of protection around my toes, because what I find due to heat generation and sweat is my toes blister quite easily. Now the Twinskin actually helped and prevented a lot of blisters, so for me getting a good pair of socks was so important. For me personally, just an average sports sock just wasn't enough, and the quality of the sock matters a lot. You want something that is breathable and of course is going to be blister resistant or blister proof. Tip number 3 for essential items is a GPS or smartwatch. Now, a lot of people will say as a beginner, you shouldn't be too concerned by watches and data, and that's completely fine. You don't have to be. But what I would say as a running beginner, a smartwatch, whether it's a Garmin, an Apple Watch, a Coros, whatever you choose, isn't just about the data, okay? What the smartwatch enables you to do is you can accurately see how far you've run. So as a beginner who is building up their mileage and volume, actually knowing how far you are running is a perfect way of knowing where your limits are. Also, with the smartwatch, you can understand your heart rate. So if you start off running and you find that you're getting out of breath or your heart rate is spiking, you can monitor this and you can use that as a pace gauge to either speed yourself up or slow yourself down depending on how you feel. But the biggest thing for me that not a lot of people are talking about is a smartwatch that you can plan a route out on is imperative for a beginner, because if you are on your running journey and you go to new locations and you don't know where you are, you've never been there before, then having a route set on your watch is perfect. Again, you can set the distance for the volume you want to run, but also it's going to give you directions so you can pick a route local to the area that you're in, and you can follow that seamlessly without the fear of potentially getting lost. The last thing I will say about smartwatches and GPS, from a personal safety perspective, you've got to think about it like this. A lot of running beginners may not be comfortable going into new locations and new environments by themselves without allowing somebody, potentially a friend or family, to keep a little bit of an eye on them for safety measures. A lot of smart and GPS watches have these measures in place. So I believe, realistically, again, a smartwatch is a non-negotiable, even if for the bare minimum of personal safety. Tip number 4 for an essential item, I've gone with a very easy and sturdy running belt. These things can get a little bit of a cop online, but at the end of the day, if you are driving to a location, you want somewhere to store your keys, I personally hate having things in my pockets, rattling round, making noises whilst I'm running. I find it off-putting. But a nice, easy running belt like this, which I picked up on Amazon, it allows me to store my keys, my phone, some gels, some painkillers, because I'm at the age now where these things do need to be taken on runs, and any other personal items that I believe is necessary for my run. I can store it. And the best thing about these running belts is if you get a good quality one, they're not bouncing around all the time. So they're actually quite snug and comfortable. So if you want to take valuables on your run, there's no better way to do that than a nice, easy concealable running belt. Tip number 5, and probably one of my most prized possessions when it comes to running, especially over long distances, and that is some Vaseline or some anti-chafing cream. I cannot stress how much this, again, has been a game changer. This is something that I apply to numerous parts of my body, including private parts, to really help with the chafing. See, I think what a lot of people would like to know as a beginner is how they can navigate runs without running the risk of blisters and chafing. Well, being prepared and watching this video and having this advice, I wish I had it when I was starting off. Because again, having some anti-chafing, it's gonna make your runs a lot more comfortable. I think a lot of people that are starting out on the running journey can actually be put off by, pains and blisters and things like that. So if we can mitigate that and use products, then of course that's what we want to do, because that'll mean that we enjoy our runs a lot more. So do not sleep on the Vaseline, and make sure you're applying this to areas such as your armpits and your lats, your inner biceps, your nipples especially. I've seen a lot of blood and a lot of disgusting looking injuries on marathon events from people that have failed to apply some sort of anti-chafing or blisters to their nipples. It looks so painful, it doesn't look great, and I wouldn't wish that on you either. And also, like I said, inner thighs, groin areas, and even between your toes and on your heels. Super, super important to mitigate, again, blisters and chafing. So guys, there we had it. Just my overview of 5 absolute running essentials for beginners. So give that a go. Let me know how you get on. If you did get any value from this video, please do me a massive favor, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel because it really helps me out, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.